Hello YouTube, it is Damien. It is a brand new YouTube only save. We are here with Aston Villa for a save called Life Without Grealish. It is currently the 10th of the 8th. It is a week before the Premier League season starts in real life, and we have got ourselves a Premier League themed YouTube series. Obviously, Aston Villa have been building a great squad with an absolutely fantastic project that I love getting behind. As a Liverpool fan, I just love seeing what they're doing. They have a good set of players that I really like in real life as well. And the fact they've just lost their star man, Jack Grealish, to Manchester City for big money kind of means that it's going to be interesting to see how they handle it. I think in real life they're going to be fantastic, but I thought, why not just delve in and become manager right now? A fantastic project. Your big man's gone. It'd be interesting to see what we would do if we were in Dean Smith's shoes. And that is where we are here today. As you can see, we've just started the database. I have, or just loaded into the game. I have got, obviously, Danny Ings on a free. I've got Danny Ings as well, because he's a fairly new signing. But in this database, players haven't moved for the exact money they've moved from. What this database has done has been created by somebody else, and I've gone in and looked at it, is they've just moved all the players, because it's got to start from last season's start date, but for this season, because everything's been updated, like Brentford are in the league, for example, they just moved all the players without money. Second thing is, no, there's going to be questions about Messi. I'm going to show you that one in a second. But as you can see here, club culture, I love. I love what they're doing at Villa in real life, and I love that on FM. It's kind of mirrored. Do not sign too many older players. Play attacking football. Sign people for the first team that are quite young. Play entertaining soccer, which they do. They play entertaining football. You love to see it. And develop players using the youth system, which I know they do. Sell players for a profit, and work within the payroll budget is the interesting one for me. The big one here is that the board are looking for us to avoid a relegation battle. I would almost be saying, with the squad that we have, I know FM probably don't rate it as much, we should be looking with the team they've built and the players that they've got to be looking to finish top 8 as a definite and pushing the top 6. I feel like that's the goal. Now, for me, that might be a little bit more difficult because if the game's rating that, we may have to do a little bit of a longer term idea to this save than what I was going with. But for me, I'll be looking to finish top 8 like they actually did last season. And, they looked like doing last season. And obviously what I think they're going to achieve this season coming up. Anyway, if we go next, whatever, we know what we're doing. Schedule pre-season, into squad friendly, no, yeah, do all that. That's all my general gist stuff. If I just save this as Life Without Grealish, we'll have a bit of a chat about what we're also going to see in the save quickly as well. Life Without Grealish. There we are. Save that. All right, game's going to save. We are also live here on Twitch. Now, I'm just going to mention as well that this is going to be a YouTube-only save. The reason why we are live on Twitch is we're starting on Twitch. We're actually going to do a little bit of scouting just to promote the save for YouTube only. Currently on Twitch, we do have a La Deportiva de Coruña save, which is a team that won the La Liga title back in the early 2000s. I think it was 99-2000. 2000/2001, they finished runners-up. They're a team that have a very big history in La Liga, and the team that, if you actually put all the points of the whole La Liga history, I think they sit in like 9th or 11th by one of those two. I can't remember which one. Very interesting save. We're 3 seasons in there, and I've got back-to-back promotions, and we are in our first season in La Liga. So you're interested in something like that, Twitch links down below. Obviously, go follow that. Secondly, FIFA content. Have had some go up. We've made a decision as a community, because obviously you've got my Discord down there as well, which obviously has all the boys that are currently in the chat. Paulie, who I'm going to mention quickly, whose link is also down below. He's going to take control of all the FIFA content. Much better FIFA player. If he ever wanted to and chance, he could probably sneak into Elite, which shows you how good it is. And he loves grinding the game. And for me, I get very ragey at FIFA. Where with FM, I love building teams. I love taking charge of what I can do here in games, and what else you can do on FM. There's so much more. I've been streaming this for 3.5 years. For me, this is my go-to game. Where Paulie's game is FIFA, so we just decided as a content thing, Paulie will stream more FIFA stuff, and I highly recommend his channel down below and our Discord, of course, as well. Back to obviously Aston Villa here. Look, we've got all the relative signings that you've seen. I don't know, they're not going to show up too much here as well, but you know what's been going on. Bendir's here, undisclosed. Danny Ings is here for 18 mil. Ollie Watkins technically hasn't had a season here, and Martinez is here. Traore's here. you see the ones in here, and as you can see, the money hasn't been gone here for Jack, and we are going to have a look at Jack. Jack Grealish, as you can see here, has gone to City on big money. Now, for me, obviously, great player. We love him in real life, and I think that it's a move that's good for his career because he's got to learn off Pep. But in this save, first we're going to see how Jack goes at City. Secondly, for me, I've outlined what I think we're going to try and do, which is finish top 8 this season. But I feel like what I want to know is how long does it take us to break into the top 4? What would annoy me is that we go on a run and we finish 4th somehow this season. But I feel like those are a couple goals of the save, and we'll play the save by ear. In terms of the rest of everything else, I feel like I'm going to highlight that Messi is not at PSG. Technically on the 10th of the 8th, as we are live today, he hasn't signed for PSG because it's the 9th over in France. I believe he's going to sign on the 10th. The Eiffel Tower's booked in on the 10th. That's kind of all the rumours. But he's technically on a free, so we will keep you updated to where Messi goes. I am, however, going to go, hey, if you want to come to me, I would take him. We're just going to do this out of, whatever. Yeah. He would need, okay, so if we were probably one of the top teams in the Premier, he would come. But, Lionel Messi, there you are as well. But look, this save is going to be interesting. For me, I feel like there's a lot that we can do here that I like. It's a team that's got an emphasis on promoting a younger squad, playing attacking football, a team in real life that achieved so much last season, and a team that we can go to and be interested to see without their star man, Big Jack Grealish, what we could achieve. I'll be interested to see what system we use, etc., etc. But for you guys on YouTube, you'll see that all in just a second. As in the second half of today's episode, we will give you game number 1 in the Premier League and embark our journey here as Aston Villa boss in life without Grealish. Welcome back, YouTube. No, this isn't the start of the Premier League season, but I didn't mention the finances when we ended part 1 of episode 1. As you can see here, the club has got a loan in of 14.05 million. I've also made a sale, but we'll go through that before the start of the first game of the season at the end of the transfer window, because obviously in August 2020, for whatever reason, an FM first season into the game, they start like in September. But as you can see, 14.5 million. Secure our financial position. It's nice. If you look at the finances here, we actually have 6 million to spend, but 2 million is what was given to me. Now, because the database hasn't actually given us the money for Jack Grealish, means I haven't been able to go out there and buy players. But at the same time, I'm actually really happy with the Aston Villa squad, and I'm actually really happy that it's a bit more of a grindy sort of aspect as well. So not making any changes to that. But as you can see here, 24 mil of income, and if we go down to others and getting a loan, that's 14 million right there and then. So finance is a little bit weird as well. I've also gone in and right before the start of the season have given ourselves Leeds and United in 2 back-to-back games a week and a half and a week before the Premier League season, just to really test where this squad is. But we will do a big review, obviously, right before our first game of what tactic we're loading, what system we're going to play in that tactic as well in terms of positions. Or roles, I should say, not positions. And then, obviously, as well, who we sold, if we signed anybody, because there's a couple of guys I'm looking for. And if I could somehow get another couple of sales out to get one of these guys in, then because I really do feel like we need a backup 10 or a backup right back / starting right back here at Villa. But let me know what you think Villa do need in real life with the Jack Grealish money that they've been given here as well. Let me know, episode 1, what would you be signing if you had the Jack Grealish money? And who would you sign on an absolute shoestring budget if you were a Villa manager in my situation? It'd be very interesting to see what would be the case. But here we go. Hopefully next time you see me and we will go and transition into our first game in the Premier League. Welcome back, YouTube. It is time for the first game of the Premier League season. As you see, we have got Brighton. There's a few things to go through. Firstly, just had a haircut. Got a few things done on the day off. Everything going well here. So obviously change your outfit. We obviously were filming on stream last night. Links down below. Go follow us live on Twitch where we were doing the La Coruña save. We finished off the stream last night by beating Atletico Madrid at home, which leaves me in 3rd after 8 games played in our first season in La Liga. So I highly recommend you guys go and check that out. Look, Brighton opening day. If we have a look at the season preview, the game's predicting us to finish 10th. I would take that right now. The fact that I didn't have the money to spend because of Grealish, how this has been set up, I wouldn't mind. I'm also tempted to see if City would line up with Jack Grealish. They would, according to the game. So there you go. That's something interesting. But as you can see, we've got Brighton, who predicted to finish just below us there as well. As you can see, the team they expect us is that. And that is very similar to what I have selected at the minute. Now, transfers. There was a few that needs to be talked about. And then obviously we'll go through the tactic and everything like that as well. As you can see on the ins and outs, nothing going on. But as our own signing, we're just going to go by date and by date. And there we go. On the outs, Connor, on FM, not particularly the greatest. Doesn't look bad, but for me, I have a few midfielders. I have a younger midfielder here that people will know if you're a Villa supporter, which is Carney. I'm not going to even be bothered with the last name. 16-year-old, great potential. I am already starting to semi-bleed him in. And the fact I'm allowed 9 on the bench, season 1 in the Prem, he's going to play minutes off the bench. I absolutely love him. Right? But apart from that as well, a couple of loans there. That Courtney one is a loan with the intention of hopefully selling him. Just for me, I just needed the wage off and he's not going to play for me. But when we came in, we didn't have the money, but I was like, we need 2 positions. I need to have a backup 10, just in case there's a longer-term injury to Bundia. And I need a right back that's a backup / first team that gives Matty Cash some out competition. Like, I've got Conser that can play out there. I think Mings is okay out there. I think Axel, who is injured, can play out at right back okay-ish, but I think the best one's Conser. And Conser's not bad out there. I'd just rather him at centre-back. For me, I was all about what sort of depth we can get out there. So first things first, Maximilian Meyer on a free, Premier League experience. Considering the whole, bit of a different sort of different sort of 10. He's not the shadow striker-y type. He can play there. I do think he's pretty decent at it, don't get me wrong. But he's definitely more of a guy that's going to sit in the hole and be a bit more advanced playmaker-y or a bit more of an attacking midfielder on support. For me, Premier League depth, had played for Germany as a young kid. Yes, doesn't have the potential that he once did back in the years of FM, but he's the sort of guy that get in on a free, squad player. 1 year, we get what we need out of him in the 10. We improve our finances. This is a guy I could sell him for 15 million, for instance, season 2, and that's just a really smart piece of business. Where Arias, for me, is great business. Transfer listed for 7 mil. He always is transfer listed season 1. I haven't particularly used him because I've never been in a position to. Better than Matty Cash on paper, coming as a Colombian international. For me, with us having to fight for probably a lot of games and hope results go our way to finish in the 10th spot or higher with the squad that we have and the money we didn't have, I feel like it's smart business. We also have a potential future fee, an optional future fee of 7.1 mil. I think that's fantastic for me too. In terms of the money-wise, we are paying no money at all for this deal. We are paying none percentage of nothing. We've only paid 25k up front to get him on loan with the optional fee. So even if we don't like him, gets a long-term injury towards the back end of the loan, and say he's out for 6 to 8 weeks or 6 to 8 months with a broken leg or whatever, we don't have to, right? But for me, end of next season, we have the money in the transfer budget. He might be a signing for a year or 2, and it just gives good, as you can see, good backup to Matty Cash, who's not even on that list. I think that's 2 really good signings. If you look at the bench, we're allowed 9 on the bench. Obviously, Arias, by the way, just joined yesterday. You're allowed to sign loans after the window's done, apparently, so that's great. He took a long time. A lot of stalling by Atletico because I wanted him gone on the transfer list, but there we are. Arias is going to make the bench. Axel's not 100% fit. I prefer to keep you there. El Ghazi for me misses out because I just don't particularly like him. I will list him at the end of the next window. But in terms of the team, I do think it's really good. Matty Cash is a 23-year-old with a little bit of potential. Hope he hits it. He's going to play a lot of minutes for me this season. Concert, 22, got good potential. Mings is pretty demanding, pretty commanding centre-back. I love Mings. And you got to remember, Freestar is a good player in the Premier League. For me, I've got good players in the Premier League with a pretty good keeper in Martinez, a great leading player in Leon Bailey and Bundia, and a leading striker in Danny Ings. I'm very happy with the squad. Ollie Walker's not in his preferred role, but inside forward on attack suits him very well. And as you can see, it's a system that's based on the SFB hyper press, but that was played wingers. We're actually looking to sit a little narrower. Ollie Walker's really looking to play pretty lopsided. He's looking to get into this areas here where Bailey's going to pick the ball up wide and really just drive inside and leave space for Matty and Cash to go. Douglas the Wiz and McGinn have a good understanding. Now look, on FM, Morgan Sanson is a better player. I get that, right? Unfortunately, though, this is based a touch on real life. He did not play well at all for Aston Villa. So I feel like I have to give Douglas Luiz, who, by the way, I think in real life is a little underrated because I do think he's really good, to go in there and play. You know, he's a guy that can play deep line, playmaker on support because he's very good at what he does. I ideally would like him to play a different sort of role, but, you know, something a little bit more aggressive. But I also don't want to make McGinn just sit there. You know, both would be very good box-to-box midfielders. I could play two box-to-box midfielders. McGinn's perfect. He's a squad player, rotate. Luiz is perfect, rotate. McGinn, for me, though, is unreal. 25 years of age. Not selling him for anything less than 40 million. I think this team's built around McGinn, Bundia, Bailey, Watkins, and Ings. And then going forward, obviously, you've got Watkins in a role that allows him to get closer to Danny Ings. I feel like in real life, this may deter from Watkins, but I feel like on FM it could work. Bundia in the middle. Playing as a shadow striker because only reason why is I think he suits it very well, allows him to dribble, run through the middle of the park, work on that passing. That natural vision does come into play with the passing anyway. He's got good composure and great technique, but I also think he could play an advanced playmaker role or an attacking midfielder on attack and just let him go as well. But yeah, shadow striker should be all right. Bailey, and then, of course, Danny Ings up top, big man, on his debut. In real life, I think this is an absolute worldie of a signing for Villa. So there we are. That is your team, and that is your system. It's a very similar system to what you guys have seen with the SFB journey. But yeah, and then if you look at the back, Arias will eventually play. I'm going to give Matty Cash the game today here. I'm not a big fan of signing people day before the season and throwing them in. Like to see him play first. Ashley Young will get minutes throughout the season. Axel obviously come back from injury, gives good competition to Conser and Mings. It does mean that if there is an injury out wide, I got Axel that can come in at centre back and throw maybe Conser and Mings either side if I wanted to as well. So yeah, very happy. Morgans and Sanson. Look, hopefully on FM plays a little better on paper, better midfielder than Douglas Luiz. Probably makes more sense to play McGinn and Sanson and get them learning and playing together. Plus, he suits this deeper line playmaker on support role really well. For me, that will come over time if that happens. Obviously, Carney is unreal. We're going to play him whenever I can. Trezeguet, Maximilian, and Bernard Torreira is your backup striker. He's got pace, so you can chuck him up front as an advanced forward on attack, and you know he's going to do a job. But yeah, look, it's a solid team. I feel Liverpool won in the opening match day fixture, which is nice as well. And I reckon it's a nice time to ask as well in this part of the video, where do you think I'll finish as a prediction in obviously what was last season of the Premier League, and where do you think Villa will finish this season in the current Premier League without Jack Grealish? Our first game without Jack, here we're going to go. I'm going to go out there and predict that we're going to win 2-1 away from home, but Brighton generally don't concede goals as well. Important to note, I do have to show pre-season quickly. We had a pretty easy pre-season, and we played Leeds right before the end of pre-season, and I'm telling you right now, they did not go particularly great. We did have a couple of guys out on international duty, but so did they. As you can see here, played absolutely nobody that I knew of. And then we got beat by Leeds. We played okay. And the second goal Rodrigo was on the break. And really, if it was a better ball, Bailey was in one-on-one. So, one of those ones. But yeah, we are going to go press because it is a hyper-pressing system. They are playing 5 at the back with Danny Welbeck and Lallana. So, a couple of guys that we know. Welbeck obviously injured in real life, but I think a good signing for him. Lallana's my boy, being a Liverpool fan. McAllister's not bad. And Basuma somehow has not found a move away so far in real life, which is a bit odd because he is unreal. Lamptey's out there too, and obviously they've had the injuries. Have Brighton in real life as well, a couple injuries. But yeah, I feel like the team is in a really, really, really good spot, and we're going to go into this game here and see how we're going to go. It's a special day. It'll come down to whoever wants it more. And we are going to be in the famous Aston Villa colours. They're in like that maroony, ready with the blue. And then obviously Brighton in their normal blue, and away we go. Of course, we are playing in the vertical scrolling. I love this camera angle so much. And away we go. Early highlight, 2 minutes in. Lamptey on this left-hand side. Basuma now. Can we get the ball? Can we get a press in? We don't. Lamptey now finds Danny Welbeck. Good move this so far from Brighton. Early highlight for them. And Lamptey now have a chance to whip. Doesn't. Finds McAllister. He knows how to whip. Good ball in. In the end, Martinez called into it very early. 2 minutes in, really relied on Martinez. And now, 3 minutes down the other end, Matty Cash finds Emi Bundia. His ball finds Leon Bailey. He cuts that one back to Douglas Luiz. And that's why he's out there, because he knows how to hit a ball. But unfortunately, just didn't catch that one well enough. And that would have been great. I also hope my phone wasn't too close to my mic, picking up all the static, but sure. Anyway, McAllister with the ball there, finds Alzati, and his ball out there towards Lamptey. And here we go. Lamptey making a run. Target, what a tackle. And in the end, Lamptey ball over the top. Target should have got there. Matty Target, but didn't. In the end, Conser heads away. Emi Bundia, this is where we want him. Picking the ball up and running at people. And he drives. He finds Danny Ings. He knows what he's doing out wide and coming inside. In the end, his effort was sort of blocked. And I feel like that's going to be one of those highlights that they count as key, but not really. Palace 1-0 up, Zaha scoring. He is a guy that A, I wouldn't mind signing here at Villa. B, guy I have in my fantasy and hope he scores in the opening day. Anyway, Matty Cash looking for Leon Bailey and does. Bailey looking for Luiz. Ball out to Matty Cash. Numbers. Bailey. Cutbacks on. In the end, though, it just needed to be a little better. We are on key highlights, aren't we? Yes, we are. But I feel like that could be our first half of the season, or our first, few months of the season, a lot of half moments until they really learn the system properly. Now, we came in and played no one of great note, so the team cohesion maybe isn't there as what you would like it been, come the start of the season, as Welbeck fly straight the keeper. There's been 10 minutes have only been played, and we've had about 4 highlights. So, come on, game. Let's just tick it over a little bit here. Anyway, 20 minutes played. Throw in again, and it's going to be Douglas Luiz to pick the ball up. And in the end, Basuma wins it back because that's what he's good at. And Welbeck now dropping in very deep to pick it up. And that causes us to lose our shape for a moment. But in the end, we've won it back and dunk at the Lamptey. They're doing well with the three at the back to move us around and play out the press. And Welbeck now in a wider area, fires wide. This game's just lacking a little bit of quality in the final third. We've had moments with Leon Bailey getting a ball across the box. And they've had moments where they've got Welbeck in and they just lacks the quality to finish. Very even game here, 30 minutes played. Another highlight as well. And Basuma again with a ball. Out to Dunk. Dunk now. Out there to Webster. Veltman. Another good ball into Asamoah. Webster again. Al-Zaiti. Are they just picking us off? In the end, McGinn finally wins the ball back in the middle of the park. First time we've seen us win it high. Douglas Luiz now needs a ball. Instead, he goes for goal. Ollie Watkins fires wide. Would have loved that to be a through ball from the Wiz into Ings. That will come over time, I feel. I feel like we've been the slightly better side, but not by a massive, massive amount. 40 minutes played. West Ham 3-0 up, who are in direct competition with us, you do think. Douglas Luiz apparently is a little bit legless as well. We are going to get into the dressing room. I'm going to tell them I'm happy with the performance so far. A couple of people demotivated, a lot of people happy with it. I feel like we've been okay. We are going to make an early change. Sanson is going to come in because of Luiz being not 100%. And hopefully his quality and passing ability will do the job for us, where in real life he was very, very, very hit and miss for Villa, and that puts it nicely. Ivan Toney scoring in his debut in the Prem. Love to see it. Danny Ings on debut for us. It's the post. Wow, Brentford just scored 3 goals in about 4 minutes of football and beating Palace 3-1. Wowzers. Bailey doesn't get the ball back. He does now. Ball in. Cleared away. McAllister should be the highlight over, hopefully. I do not believe Danny Ings 1-on-1 has just hit the post. Usually very clinical. In the end, for me, we're just going to continue on to see what we can do. Time ticks away. It's a free kick. It's Lallana. It's Dunk. It's over the bar. So, I don't think we've had it all our own way, but we've been a bit better. Anyway, another corner. Bundia and Bailey. Oh, yeah. Sending him off. Lamptey's dove in double-footed. Didn't win any of the ball. They're down to 10 men. And now, we surely are going to go for this a little bit harder. I'm going to give it to the 70th minute. No changes. Just hopefully get a goal in the 4-2-3-1. If not, I'll switch 4-4-2 and go for this. Anyway, Emi Bundia getting towards the box. Goes for goal, fires wide. Come on, we just need a moment of brilliance. Make it 1-0. And then we can stay in this system and just go bang. We've been the better side. But it hasn't happened for us yet. Time still ticking away. 70 minutes played. I am going to go into the 4-4-2. This would be very disappointing for us not to win. Ollie Watkins going to go up front with Ings. Bailey and Bundia can go other side as well. They're both very good as wingers. McGinn and Sanson are there. That's fine. Arias is actually going to come in for Matty Cash to make his debut here and get a little bit further forward as well. And we'll leave one change, which may be Maximilian Meyer to go into the 10, I feel, and leave Sanson by himself in the middle of the park. But we'll see if that's going to be the case. Time ticks away. Not a highlight yet. There's a highlight now. I feel like if this doesn't go in, Mayer for 10 minutes in the hole. Ings. Consa. Back into Mings. Target. Still with the ball. Leon Bailey now. Gets towards the byline. Cuts one. Ings block. McGinn. Emi Bundia straight at the keeper. I'm actually going to do this. This seems a bit crazy. But I feel like that this could work because they have only 10 men on the park. Actually, Maximilian Meyer can just sit in and just play on support, and we go like that. I know it's only 3 at the back. I'm going to put that now on wing backs on support. But I feel like with them at 10 men just sitting for a draw, we can throw an extra man maybe forward and keep the midfield. If we were to score a goal right now, that would be annoying, but that's okay. Morganson Sanson block deflected it in. It's taken us 82 minutes. Sanson on his debut in terms of in the game, but, obviously he's played a year in real life, has scored. It's 1-0 Villa. Mercifully, we've done it. Danny Ings with the ball. Sanson now hits. It's just taken a deflection, and the keeper's kind of gone, oh, God. And there we are. We are 1-0 to the good. Don't want to particularly leave this system, to be fair. And there's a highlight now. Watch us concede now that we've only got 3 at the back. Lallana now putting numbers across. If we do win the ball, we would break. We've got a lot of numbers as well. Lallana, Welbeck, big moment, goes for goal. Just wide. Damien has seen enough. McGinn's just going to go in at centre-back as a ball-playing defender and defend. And we're just going to go like that and let him sit in and defend as well. Similar system, but 4 at the back, and McGinn just goes back there and just goes, hey, I'm McGinn. Time ticks away. It's a throw-in now. Furlong, Trossard. Furlong goes long, should be able to pick it up here. McGinn does enough. Emi Bundia now has numbers. Danny Ings wanted it, ignored. Bundia going himself, fires over. We've had a lot of those half moments that haven't flown in. But on the opening day, so far, bar 4 minutes of madness, we should be okay for our first win. Leon Bailey making a run, needs an option, instead he goes for goal. It seems like we just want to shoot from distance, man. So many of those moments where you just slip a ball in behind their back 4 and we're in one-on-one. We did it once with Danny Ings and he hit the post. And Marante goes long. They didn't win the knockdown. Maximilian Meyer on his debut. Ollie Watkins now needs a runner. That's the ball. Danny Ings the killer. Watkins the Danny Ings. Who knows, 2 up top we could slot into very easily with the team we have as well. Definitely something to think about. I do think the 4-2-3-1 suits us because Bundia's a centre attacking mid's a lot better. But there we go. Mayer picks the ball up. He finds Ollie Watkins. And finally we play a ball past the back 4 or 5 of Brighton. And Ings doesn't make a mistake like the first one. The second one he finishes in the bottom bin. It's 2-0 and it's delightful. And it's exactly what we want on the opening day. The second goal makes it seem a little bit more comfortable to what it is. We never really should have been in any sort of trouble to win that. Especially with 10 men, we should have scored a lot earlier. But, 83, 93rd minute, I don't mind that at all. A pretty solid day out for most of the boys as well. And I am happy with that. Into the dressing room, we're going to go praise the boys. I'm very happy with the result and the way we played. And look, when you're learning a new system and you can take wins, take them straight off the bat. And look, at the end of the day, clean sheet, perfect, good for Martinez as well. I am very, 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 very pleased indeed. We are going to continue on. And there we go. Mings' injury is only 10 days to 3 weeks. It's not as nice as you wouldn't see. As you can see, we've got Crawley next in the Aston Villa fixtures. But I feel like our next game is going to be West Ham and... I feel like West Ham are going to be around the mark. It might be West Ham or Everton followed by Man United. I feel like it's nice to give you a game against a team of our quality and a team of a better quality. And I feel like that might be a doubleheader we do. Maybe Everton, Man United off the top of my head. Could also do Arsenal, Wolves. And then after that, we're probably looking at like Liverpool City as a very, very tough doubleheader too. But I would like to, in these episodes, give you a lot of doubleheaded games. Anyway, from Damo and everybody else here, that will be the end of this episode. It is episode 1, done and dusted, of the new save. Life without Grealish. It has started pretty well with a win on the opening day. What would you have done different? If you had the 100 million to spend like I didn't because of the database, what would you have done with the 100 million? Where do you think Villa are going to finish come the actual season that's going on? And where do you think I can finish in a season that is being mocked of last season, but with this season's teams and squads? Let me know what you think I can do as well. But from Damon and everybody else here, I'll see you next time. Thank you and goodbye.